Welcome to Patscast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
This is our episode for January 20th, 2019.
Riley Crane, right point set off. Left side at the line, Sebastian Strue. Snapshot, scores! Sebastian Strue! And the Pats have the lead back. Goals in 3 straight games for the 19-year-old. Into the Pat zone, drags. Great hit by Brady Puteau to negate any chance. Middle point, Malashiev got through his legs. Crane second, shorthanded breakaway of the game. Straight on Michael's forehand, and he missed short side. Drags it back in front, scores! Riley Crane, shorthanded goal for his 10th.
Okay, so Pats are sitting at 12-33-1 right now. We've got 26 points. We're winless in our last 10. We were hoping for a bit of a better week here. There was at least one game that was winnable. And we're talking the Kootenay game on the Wednesday. That game just never really got going. It felt like until maybe the last minute.
Yeah, I don't think the effort was there that game. I
No.
thought maybe there'd be a better effort. This is a winnable game. Boys want to win one, and it just didn't seem very good. Like, the power play didn't look good, even though they scored a goal early. It was not a good-looking power plays, and then the last minute it was like, oh, well, here's the effort, but
Right.
a little too late, right?
Yeah. Like, the power plays, these last few games have actually seemed slow. Like, they take it behind our net, and they're sitting there,
Yeah,
and
wasting.
they'll waste seconds just standing there, and it's like, okay, come on, guys, Anyways, so that's slow, a little sloppy.
I know they've changed guys and stuff, so maybe they're just trying to, work things out. But it's kind of ugly. Do you think you can at least get some stability there and get a half decent power play? But it's been struggling for a long time now.
Yeah, overall, that was a pretty kind of a boring game to be at. It wasn't a lot. Peyton Krebs sure looks good.
Yeah,
he's a good
definitely.
player. So, it was okay to see him.
He doesn't have any help, though. Jeez.
Not really. No, it's pretty weak. They're a pretty weak team, but they were good enough to beat us.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Not much to say about that game. It wasn't too hot. A little disappointing.
The Pierce goal was nice. That was a nice little move at the blue line, and he danced around a guy.
That's true. That's
all really got down here for good points
for show notes. Yeah, that game was not too hot. But that being said, there are those little flashes of brilliance.
Yep.
Whether it's a good play by a single player, sometimes they'll string together like a nice shift, just one. They can't put them back to back though, and get that sustained pressure. Tough game. I wanted that one. Boy, we haven't won this year yet.
Yeah, this calendar year.
So it's getting a little, I don't know. It is what it is, but those are the games that we'd like to see them win. And again, the effort wasn't really there. We didn't see it too much. So
yeah, it's a little frustrating to not see that effort there.
That's when we're disappointed.
I know personally how a 10-plus game losing streak feels.
Yeah.
Luckily, we just won tonight to break that. So,
and nobody's sitting there watching you.
No. Well, actually, there was a few people up there, so I don't know.
They're just there for the steak night.
There isn't even cheap steak anymore.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. It was $10 for a steak sandwich and a beer. Go up and get another beer. It's $8. I'm like, well, I might as well just get another steak. Yeah, somebody will eat it. But so we actually had a few people watching tonight. Okay. A couple stragglers.
So coming off that game, kind of hoping it'd be a better show up in Saskatoon. It was a little bit better, but not great. Got down 3-0. Again, we've said it a few times lately, though. The team does seem to hang around. Then they got it back to 3-2, and it was there, but some Pierce took a stupid penalty, pushed the guy. He got it's the retaliations, right? It's pretty kind of cliche to say, but he got taken down, got upset, and shot the guy's stick away, so he gets one for that. It was a shame. Cole, he's been snake bit too, right? Like he hasn't.
I think he's still only got one goal since he's come over.
Yeah,
I was like,
I think it was his first
game or two.
That one against Brandon, didn't he get it, or was that Joseph?
Both of them only had one goal, and both of them it was in the first two games. They both scored in the first two games. So,
So
and now Joseph's gone to Vancouver and he's just lighting it up over there. So
I don't know.
Tell he didn't seem to be too enthused about being here.
And maybe. Who knows what the backstory is? Maybe he knew all along he was going somewhere, so he just didn't want to get hurt. I don't know, but now you're seeing him on highlight of the night, highlight of the week. You're thinking, this is the same guy. He scored one goal with us.
And So, but Cole would be nice to get him going.
Cole, I'm seeing the effort from him. He's playing hard and he wants a goal. And this goal, like it should have been a goal. Struve, I think, passed it to him backdoor. Cole's got wide open net and just like way over in that. Maybe he got too excited or whatever it was. But it was, I picked him for that night. I was like, sign puck coming my way, because I can't imagine too many people picked him because he hasn't scored much. But I've been kind of noticing his effort is pretty good, and I thought he'll get one. He's due, and
even in the Saturday game, you see him. He was not running around, but like he's skating hard, finishing his checks. Like he looked pretty decent in that in the Saturday night game.
Absolutely, that's what I mean. I'm still seeing him in particular. The effort is noticeable. Saskatoon's not a bad team though, man. I mean, Dawson Davison's playing really well. They're saying he's second in defensive points.
Yeah, he's
got something like 38 now, maybe more assists. Like he's
how many points did he have that night? Like he's in the first two goals.
Yeah, and Doc playing well. Doc had that stretch pass. If you were watching on New Line, you wouldn't have seen it, right? Because they were.
Yeah, I missed it.
But on the access feed, they had it, and he the guy got behind our defenseman, and he stretched pass. It was a really nice pass by Doc. He's a good, strong player. There was one time where he was contesting the puck with another guy and just simply overpowered him. Like it was just like, get out of my way, I'm going in, and he's good. Another guy I want to recognize as picking up his game a bit is Cole Dubinsky. So he got the first goal in this game. I don't know, like we kind of commented on that he seemed like a healthy scratch some nights a little while ago, and I was wondering, is it
just rotating those younger guys out or whatever?
And maybe he didn't like that. He wanted, and this team is, from what we can see, you earn your spot and you earn where you are in the lineup. And maybe he recognized that, and he's picked it up. I think he was looking good that game, and the one at home. I don't know what we were expecting. I know last year he played 5 games. He made quite an impression on everyone because he was out there kind of just going,
finishing his checks and skating hard. But he wasn't
right. But it's a totally different team.
Talent, right?
Yeah, it was a totally different team. So anything you did see, he was playing a role then and just going hard.
Kind of fourth line energy guy kind of thing.
Yeah, and he brought that. And then this year, I was expecting a little more from him, maybe unfairly. Like there's no reason to expect that, and he's still very young, right? Mm-hmm. So just to see him playing better now is a positive note.
Yeah, and a note on that first goal. Nobody picked Dubinsky.
No,
except
nobody.
My girlfriend. She basically had it typed in, and then she was like, "No, Pierce. Pierce has been playing good." And so she deleted Dubinsky.
Yeah,
so bad. She missed out on that one. But
he was in, and she missed Autograph Alley for him too.
Yeah, we were gone that game too.
Rough.
So
that's too bad. Well, he'll be around hopefully for a while. He'll grow. Tough game. The score was certainly lopsided. Good tilt at the end. Hey,
that was a good one. Yeah, definitely.
Put that up on our Twitter feed if anyone is interested. Just look through there. Was it Feist and McKay? I originally typed McNabb because my phone just sort of auto fills it in, and I was like, is it McNabb? And I looked on their roster. I just quickly looked at their roster, and they have a McNabb.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it is McNabb, and then someone corrected me. So that was my mistake. But you can't change the tweet now once it's out there.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Unless you delete it.
Yeah. In that game, I know a couple of goals, guys, there's bad. The guys were like leaving the zone early, and guys were left in behind them, and it was 2 easy goals for them. Like, I know Mitchell got burned on the one, and I can't remember who was on the other one, but guys were busting out the zone, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're in behind. The other one was the bounce off the boards. Like, that was
there's some tough breaks.
Yeah, you got to be a little more responsible defensively. Like,
I wonder if part of it, and again, I'm not a coach, I don't know anything. Maybe they were working on quick transitions. Yeah, maybe that's part of it, and that's the part of the growing pains. Sometimes you get burnt,
especially UD. You got to make sure it's out of zone before you start busting it up. But
I know,
and that's gonna happen, right?
Yeah, so. Mitchell is actually.
Yeah, no, he's been looking pretty good. Like, I know he had the fall on the other goal there, but I mean, like, that happens.
I was saying, right? Did he catch his pick or something? He's got, it's the way it looked. He was out there, and he was bummed after that. But you got to shake it off and get going.
Yeah, just get right back out there, like.
And he's going to play a fair bit here now until at least till Evans gets back.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there was a play last night. We're blending the games, but I mean they're the same team, so whatever. There was a play last night. It was a 2-on-1, and
he made a
really nice play. And you asked who was that? And it was at the far end of the ice. And it was Mitchell. And it was. So
that's what you like to see, right? You take care of your own zone first, work on the defensive side, and then go from there. So, no, good for him. He's 16, right? So he's going to be around a while.
Totally, yeah. And like they were doing a post-game interview last night, and the guy was saying, the bounces that happen, like when we do get a bounce, we don't take advantage of them. Like we don't have that finishing. So we get the bounces, but we're not finishing. And it seems like whenever we have a bounce against, it's like in the back of our net. It's like,
definitely. And you got to work harder. The effort has to be there to get those bounces too, right? Like,
but they are starting to get them.
Some,
They're getting some of those lucky bounces,
like the Crane goal on Saturday night where he misses the net on the breakaway, but then he gets the rebound back and just puts it in from behind the net.
Right, and that's effort.
So that's one of those bounces.
Totally, right? Like they made the mistake of just watching him.
Yeah, and then he's like, okay, I'll just put it in the net.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the fact we had, 2 breakaways in the same power or penalty kill, I should say, and then we had another breakaway, and then we had one that was a breakaway, but the clock expired.
Yeah, there's 4 breakaways that game for us. So 2 of them shorthanded.
Showing a little bit of speed and some skill there. And I heard they had some time with a specific skills coach or something they brought in.
Yeah, I think they bring it in as somebody once in a while to work on some stuff.
Yeah, so I don't know. Did you see Puto's little spinorama there in the Kootenay game? Like, I don't know. Maybe they just, a little bit more coaching and time, and these guys can pick it up. Like, some of these players might, I'm not saying they will, but they could. We could have some of these players like I don't know. I don't want to draw comparisons, but Brett Leeson, like, kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah. They were saying Habelgo-Walks or whatever his name is. Yeah. He didn't really peak until
later.
Last year, right? Like, so some of these younger guys, you're looking at Pierce and Crane, even though they're not scoring tons of goals right now, like they could develop into something. So
yeah, exactly. Here you even look like Adam Brooks, like he
that was the example they had.
30 points in his first 2 years, and then all of a sudden his last 2 years he had over 120 points both years, right? So
right. So I don't know. I trust this management to find the right players and build with what they can, and
try to develop them as best they can. You know, like we've lost. Obviously, we lost a lot of top end talent, but we've also lost a lot of guys that we traded away that were potential top end guys with these trades, like the last couple of years. So there's really a lack of high end talent, right? And it's going to be a while because we got all the draft picks back, but I mean that's going to take. It takes 2 years for one draft pick to work, right? Because by the time you draft him, you got to wait a whole year till he's there, and then he's only 16, so you're essentially waiting 2 years.
I know, it's
until
like
he's the league, right? So
you're watching around the league and you see the Cole Mears, Jeff DeWitt's, Dawson Davidson's, Tristan Robbins, these guys. You're just like, oh well. Oh well, that's the price we pay, right?
No, yeah, definitely it is. So
it would be nice to get a win this year. We'll see. We're slowly falling back down to. I mean, Swift Current is hot on our heels here again. It feels like
they're. I think they're 5 points behind us now. It was a couple of games in hand. So
yeah. So we gotta just. I don't want to be last place.
Yeah, definitely.
Kootenay passed us. They had a couple of wins over this their little road trip, but I wonder if now that they're in Brandon, they should just stay there.
just stay in Winnipeg. Oh, we're just gonna play out of here now. Like, did you read that latest report I tweeted out? It's like there's development like starting to happen, and nobody's like even mentioned anything.
Such a joke. And and
the WHL, they said, "Oh, announcements coming." That's been over a month now. Like there's like a countdown or a counter going. It's like, oh, day 31, day 32 that they said announcements coming, and nothing's happened.
And it's just disrespectful to even the few fans they have. Like, it's just,
I don't know if they're just trying to like string them along. So
well, and then I saw, we have 20% off our Kootenay ice gear, and it's like, just don't even. It's so insincere and just, God, it's not fair. It's just handled poorly.
Yeah,
like everyone knows. Just say it.
Yeah,
have some fun with it, like so you can enjoy the team and give them a last little hurrah and have the fans come out. Maybe, I don't know, have some promotional stuff, have some fun. But
and it looks kind of bad on the league as a whole too, right?
Does. Yeah, it's handled poorly. I don't like that. I don't like lying and deceiving and just not being honest. So
yeah, we haven't had a team move since Victoria moved from Chilliwack, and I wasn't too in the whole like league news, so I don't know how they handled it then.
Yeah.
So
little update on our roster. So Max Paddock, we tweeted this out that he's ill, and it's indefinite. So
yeah, went from day to day right before the trade deadline. So there's all sorts of speculation there, but then it went to indefinite the week after.
Saw him at the game yesterday walking around. He looked fine. I thought, so we either thought it's influenza, mumps, or mono.
Yeah.
It's kind of, because if it's an illness, usually it's like a couple days you get over it, but it's been a couple weeks now. So saw him, he looks skinny as always. So whatever.
Throw a guy a sandwich.
Maybe just hopefully he had a stomach bug or something and lost a bunch of weight, because he didn't have any
to lose.
He's a thin man, but hopefully, I don't know. They said they were running tests. That's what makes me wonder, like, okay, if it's a normal illness, you're not running tests on anyone. It's just get better. Like, but the fact he was at the game and I saw him with other players makes me feel it's not mono.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe it was just, who knows, a bad, like some sort of influenza type or something. Who knows? But hopefully see him back soon. McNabb's holding it down as best as we can hope, but
I haven't been really disappointed in his play.
No, like he lets in maybe some goals he'd like back once in a while, but they're not losing us the game.
No.
Like, so
I know the one he really wanted last night, the one from like the goal line. I think it hit his like inside of his right arm, the far arm.
The first goal?
No, I think it's the second or third, maybe.
Yeah.
The guy came from his left and he shot at a really sharp angle. And I think it went off his inside of his right arm and in. And you just see him right after it goes in. He was mad that he let that one in.
Yeah. So, and then Evans is they have week to week now, or a couple weeks out.
I think it said 2 or 3 weeks. So it's slowly going down. So that's good. He's progressing, and
going as expected, and then Kay Morris, though, he's still on there, and I mean, I don't know if his Instagram. I follow the kid. I don't do much on Instagram, but that's what they use a lot. So sometimes it's kind
Keep
of
up on the news,
kind of an insider. He was posting these pictures from some African safari, so I don't know if they're current, if he's out there doing that, but I would have thought maybe they would have had him on the ice maybe for Wednesday's game,
right?
First Nations game. Just even to come out there and be part of the presentation and their ceremony. They were raffling his jersey off, so I don't know. Maybe it was current and he's off in Africa. I don't know. They were nice pictures, but I don't know. I'm not holding my breath now for him to come back
this year. Yeah,
no, I don't think and I don't blame him if it's
head injury,
concussion. Then
yeah,
and
he's had a history, right?
Right.
So,
yeah, exactly.
and man, he looked good at the start of the year. There, he was looking pretty good.
He's a good player.
That was a tough loss.
Yeah,
for this season, anyways.
Absolutely. So, moving around the league, a couple of big games this weekend. One of the highlight kind of marquee matchups I would have thought would have was the Portland versus Everett, and Portland took that game 5-1. So I would have expected something closer. If anyone saw, it's really neat atmosphere they have there. So they were playing kind of an afternoon game.
It was called the Sunset Game.
Yeah. Is it okay?
Yeah,
so
they actually said that on Twitter.
They purposely did it. So they have giant windows all around.
They're old because they play out of 2 different rinks, so it's the old one.
Okay.
And yeah, the windows they had the shades up and kind of you get all the light coming in.
Yeah, it looked really cool. I don't know what it's actually like to play like that, if there's glare or if there's sun.
I think
kind
they
of
don't
blinding the guys,
play during the day with the shades open because they said it does glare.
It looked really cool. It's kind of a neat
atmosphere.
atmosphere.
It's a nice looking rink.
Yeah.
And I never, when I was in Portland, I was there and I seen what they call the Moda Center now. It used to be the Rose Garden. And that's where like the Trailblazers play and all that. And they kind of split their time. And they're in the same parking lot. But I remember driving by and I was like, oh yeah, there's the nice stadium. And I didn't even notice the old one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
When I was there, like, I don't know, about 10 years ago. But yeah, the other one is a very nice facility. So
PA is on their West Coast trip. Lost to Kelowna in a shootout. Otherwise, they seem to be rolling right along. Still at they're 39-5. So I wonder. Well, they got 46. Yeah, they should. I wonder where they'll end up. We'll see. They seem to be kind of not sputtering, but they're losing some games now.
Yeah,
so.
in the second half there, since Christmas, they've lost a few. So just coming back down to reality because there's no way they're going to keep that pace up.
No.
So.
And Red Deer. So Red Deer Lethbridge, they played. Lethbridge won on Saturday. Lethbridge is not going as strong as maybe they might want to be. Tough division though. This Central Division.
Yeah, tight.
Looking at Edmonton, Red Deer, Lethbridge, and Medicine Hat now. So you got 4 teams all within 2 points.
2 points, yeah.
So 58, 57, 56, and 56. Like, that's going to be an interesting come down to the wire here.
They should probably get both wild cards, right?
Well, maybe. So Medicine Hat's currently sitting there. One of them for sure.
Yeah.
But then the second, Calgary's at 46 points, and then Brandon's at 44.
Okay.
I don't see Brandon making
much.
a charge here. They've really kind of nosedived here.
Yeah.
Kind of after Christmas, and again, like why after Christmas they kind of sucked, right? And
yeah, and it's surprising that Matheos didn't get traded.
Just didn't pull the pin.
And I don't know, there seems to be maybe some, I don't know what happened, if they got it in too late to the league or what happened, but it seems like something went down and...
Oh, one of those.
Yeah, like
someone forgot to press enter.
Or whatever happened. Like, you know, it's all hearsay here on the internet, right?
Oh,
so
interesting.
So there is some kind of something went down. They were
seemed,
maybe trading him and didn't trade him or whatever happened. I don't know, but it's kind of surprising they didn't sell him to somebody, right?
I think everyone was a little surprised that didn't happen. So if there was something that it's believable. that something like that occurred. Because
well, they traded their guys last year and they were
Yeah.
doing way better, right? So,
yeah, and they seem like a smart, well-run franchise. So
yeah, and they're always consistently good. You don't see them dip down too much.
Right. So interesting. That'd be neat to find out. So this week's a bit of a slower week, and that's mostly because I think of the CHL Top Prospects game that's going on in Red Deer, and that is on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday the 23rd. Some good representation from the WHL. So Team Cherry has 8 dub players, 6 from the O and 6 from the Q. Team Oars got 7 dub, 9 O, and 4 Q. So 15 and 15 for WHL and OHL, and then 10 for the Q. And some good players. Kind of the face of the game so far seems to be Doc and Cousins, so both dub players, and well represented there, and high prospects too.
Yeah, the WHL is really strong this year in the draft class. The last couple of years they haven't been as strong, but it's just the cyclical nature, right? So, like from International Scouting Service, Doc is ranked 4th, Cousins is 5th, Bowen Byram from Vancouver is 6th, and then you got Matthew Robertson from Edmonton, he's 12th. Nolan Foote is 18 out of Kelowna, and then Peyton Krebs is 23. So there's some high-end talent for out of the WHL this year. And then Brett Leeson, 30th. So as a overager for the draft. So
right. So it should be a good game to watch.
Yeah, then there's lots of, I think about half this list is from CHL, and they'll most seems like all of them will be playing. So, and even the goalie crop, you got Sogard from Medicine Hat and Prince George. The name is eluding me at the moment, and then Dustin Wolf, he got left out. That's kind of surprising a bit. You think he's really good. So, but you can only have, there's only 4 goalies available, spots available, right? So,
right. So, other than that, so we just have 2 games this week, a home and home with Brandon. So we've seen Brandon a few times already. They are playing for quite a bit. They're on the bubble right now for a playoff spot, so they want to get things righted and get going. So they're probably looking at us and saying,
this is a winnable game for us.
Yeah. They probably saw Kootenay and then us. They're thinking, okay, we can really get some points here. So let's do our darndest not to let that happen. We deserve a win here. They've been playing hard. Winnable game against Brandon. We beat them before, so we'll see. Hopefully.
Yeah, we beat them back to back there.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So let's do it.
Yeah, we could use a win.
We could use a home win too.
A home win would be nice.
We need something to see. Yeah. Other than that, so not too much to talk about coming up this week. A few things that we didn't really get to, we didn't mention too much, was the announcement of the NHL outdoor game. I guess we don't have to get too much into the NHL part of it. I know there's some mixed feelings about it, whether it's going to be successful or not. My feeling is it will be.
Yeah,
it's going to
what I've heard, lots of people are going.
It's going to draw a lot of people.
And from people from out of town, too.
Yeah, all over the province, and then the 2 neighboring provinces. It'll be successful. No problem. It will not be like that last effort that they tried with just the Pats and Moose Jaw and the Heritage game, or the classic old timer game, whatever it ended up being. It's going to be much more successful. It's in October.
Yes, the weather should be relatively
fine.
nice. So.
Can you imagine doing it like today?
Yeah, exactly, right?
It was miserable day.
Even yesterday was terrible.
Yeah. So kudos to them for not trying to plan it in January or some.
Well, and they've got the technology. They've done these games in Anaheim and LA, so it's obviously much warmer there, and
whatever.
So they've got it figured out where the ice is obviously playable. It's not too much of an issue. So it sounds like they can do a game almost whenever now. So, and why not put it in October when it's a good fan experience? Because nobody wants to go in January and sit in -30, -40 wind chill.
Yeah.
and nobody's going to enjoy it.
No, it's going to be a crappy game. So now the WHL side of it is it hasn't been announced yet, but it's
pretty obvious that there should be a game.
It would be ludicrous if they did not do a Pats game tied to this. Like whether it's before or after, we'll find out. But that'll be cool.
And it should be relatively inexpensive because when Regina played Calgary after Calgary had a Heritage Classic or whatever it was, the tickets were $25 for the Pats and Hitmen.
Yeah.
So it's just basically pure profit off that because the NHL's footing the bill for all the ice and the setup and all that. So
now, wouldn't it be interesting if they had this new Winnipeg team there? Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of the
division
teams, or one of the teams that's represented though.
Okay, like Calgary
or a Winnipeg
or the new Winnipeg team.
Yeah,
true, because it is Calgary Winnipeg, the NHL game.
Wouldn't it be a piss off if it was Calgary and Winnipeg playing?
I wonder who Calgary played in that the NHL. The Flames played.
Yeah,
because then it wasn't the Regina NHL team. So I wonder how the Pats got set up with that. But whatever.
Yeah. But you would think maybe that if you're a season ticket holder, your ticket would go into there, but
that
doesn't seem like
time, right? So.
I wouldn't expect that. Like you think it should, but it won't.
Yeah, I don't know if the Hitmen season ticket holders got free entry or they had to pay the $25 or whatever, but whatever. If I got to pay $25, that's not terrible.
Yeah. So obviously we'll go to the Pats game. What's your feeling on the NHL? I'm
so out of the NHL the last few years.
Yeah.
I've lost kind of interest. So depending on the price, right? Like I wouldn't see it being much under $150, right?
I can't see it being under 150.
Yeah, for any ticket, right?
No.
Yeah. So I'm probably out. Like I'm not gonna spend that much.
I don't know. We'll see. I would like to. I would honestly like to, but the price point might keep me out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just it'll be a cool experience, but it's just one game, one day. It's a lot of money.
If you're spending like $200, $250, you're looking at it's almost my Pat season tickets in one game. Like,
right.
We'll see. It'll be the price point for me. So, a little bit more news. So we've been, watching games online. You're starting to notice the reason we started talking about it was the Saskatoon game. You're thinking, boy, there is not a lot of people in those stands, and it was a special night. They had Superman night or superhero night. So there's Friday night, kind of a special promotion night. Did not look too well attended.
No, I think it was in the 3 something when I looked.
And this is a fairly successful team right now with some good players, and they're still not getting support. Now, Saskatoon, they've had a bad team for a while, and it sounds like people aren't terribly thrilled with their management system. They fire some pretty good coaches after 1 year, and so maybe it's going to take a little while for them to build up the fan base back. So,
winning will cure that. But
going outside of just Saskatoon, though, you're looking at other teams. So you have some stats on attendance thus far.
Yeah, and it seems like we have a pretty full building this year. Like all things considered, obviously not as full as the last couple of years, but we're still averaging over 5,000, and that puts us 5th in the league. Like we're the second worst team in the league, and we have the 5th best attendance.
Yeah.
So like you can't argue that, and we're only behind Calgary, Edmonton, Portland, and Spokane. So like big city markets.
Do you have Swift on there?
Yeah, Swift is 2376. But what's the percentage, right?
Yeah, that's what I'd be interested to know.
And because PA is down there too, 2594, but I don't think they can hold much more than 3. So
no, that's a small building.
So you got to kind of work it in as percentage wise.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. But I was just that's not bad for Swift Current, I don't think.
No, it isn't.
Considering they had the success last year, and that's what we had the last 2 years. So then it kind of carries over, and it does. So
well, you look here. I'll look at Swift Current. So last year, they averaged 25-12 last year, and now they're 23-76 this year.
Yeah, so that's pretty good.
That's not much of a drop off, right?
And they struggled for attendance at the beginning of the season because they said they started selling like half tickets, half seasons, and then they sold they almost sold out the barn.
Yeah, we're getting down that stretch. It was a hot commodity. Definitely.
Yeah, it was like the thing to do.
Obviously, just like us when in 16.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
when we had the hot team.
Yeah, so.
Because the previous year they were only 2,000, and 15-16 they were under 2,000.
Right.
So
yeah. So kudos to our fans. I'm pleasantly surprised with people this year. So
and, they're marketing. They're doing the Timbits almost every game, which brings.
I think that helps.
That brings people into the building, right? They're doing things to draw people in, right?
Yeah.
And they had discounted tickets there for a while. They had a promotion. They had the half-season ticket thing where you get every second game instead of committing to a full season. They're coming up with ideas to get people in. So,
speaking of ideas, the parking thing. So they have the indoor sale right now for Dilawri.
Oh, yeah.
Has that area.
Oh, that was the VIP parking spot, wasn't it?
Yeah. So now they've moved it. And it's barricaded off. It's actually where I think it should have been first.
Okay.
It's just west. Like when you come out the west entrance there, it's there, and they got all these yellow
tape
cement things.
Okay, yeah.
And it's huge though. Like it's there's maybe a few cars in it.
Yeah, because it's like $10 a game, right?
A game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is better now because it's straight out. Like it's just a straight shot out onto I don't know if that road has a name, that service road that goes out to Louvain.
Out to Louvain.
It's where it should have been originally, but they could still shrink her down. But if they shrink it down, then someone's going to park like right beside it and say, "Hey, you paid $10."
Okay.
But they get priority exit.
Yeah.
So like there would be
everybody
a guy there,
gets stopped
like,
for
everyone,
one person.
Like, yeah. Okay, you can go.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I park on the east side. You've moved to the west side now, so
yeah, just it's easier. The Louvain service is my house better, but
for you now, yeah.
But regardless, again, I said at the start of the season, the parking guys they have out there has improved that experience, that part of the game, going to a game, just tremendously. Like, it used to just be free for all, every man for themselves.
Yeah, and see,
it's way better.
Now they used to have a guy at the three-way kind of by the stadium, because that's where I park, and there's that three-way kind of intersection, and they haven't had a guy there the last few games, so I don't know if they've kind of what's happened there, but it's not too terrible. But I don't go through that intersection. I park facing north, and I just drive straight north out to Dudney, so
yeah,
it's okay for me. I found a decent spot.
There's always that left turn that I hated though on Dudney.
Yeah. I turn right, so I'm good.
Oh yeah, okay.
I turn right, so I'm
good. A bit of
but speaking of the facility though, like again today, like you go play a game and there's like half a dozen lights out in the rink. There's half a dozen that are flickering. It's going to give you a seizure, and then another cold shower tonight. It's just like I'm going to call them out on Facebook again. Every time there's a cold shower, I message them like, hey, what are you guys doing? And there's a huge tournament again this year, Adam AA tournament this weekend, and the parking lot was packed. When I went to the Cougars game Friday night, it was just jam packed. And there's teams, over half the teams are from out of town. That just looks bad on us. Like they gotta get this maintenance going. They have improved some stuff like around the past games and stuff, but they're lacking in maintenance in that facility.
So how involved is the city in this? Or is it just strictly...
I think it's just private, right?
Is it? It's all private?
It's a not-for-profit company that runs it. They're called... It's REAL, REAL. So Regina Exhibition something. Yeah, I don't know what part of the city has involvement with, right? Because when they deal with Hockey Regina or Ring at Regina, they deal with ice times that way. So I don't know if the city has any input on it, right?
Okay.
It is private property, I believe, right? So
yeah, I wasn't sure what it was. So,
but it's just bad. I know a few of my coworkers, they have kids are going to these tournaments, and it's been there for 10 years now, and then they go to other places that have built facilities that are newer, and there's definite improvements, like because there's way better seating for all these rinks, and it's ours was kind of like the first one, and everybody's improved off ours. So, but yeah, it's
That's
pretty
too
bad
because I don't utilize it very much. It looks good. It's a nice idea. It seems
it's a great facility. Just the maintenance is just lacking, and they just gotta shape up.
Plan that in the budget.
No, so I don't know what's going on there, but hopefully they're trying. But yeah, and I mean it keeps coming up. I saw another article. Oh, they need a new arena. And we haven't paid off the other one yet, so I don't know if that's well. But this is, I think, is going to be more private money because they've got money, the owners.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll be looking for too much money. They want to run it themselves, I think.
A little bit and I don't know how much money there is, if there is any, set up for that kind of, if they did it at downtown, if that's where it ended up being, like that downtown revitalization, I know they want to get going. If there was some money in that, but...
Yeah, there's that rail yard revitalization. I know the Rebellion Brewing podcast, they interviewed one lady that's dealing with that. She's like the downtown or the heritage area there. Right. So she's dealing with that kind of stuff. So I don't know, they've got all sorts of ideas, right?
They have an awesome vision for that area.
Yeah,
if
definitely.
It could happen, it would.
Well, it's eventually going to happen, right? Something's going to happen there. It's not just going to stay stagnant, I don't think.
Eventually, I suppose.
So
yeah, hopefully. Some other interesting news out of, I guess it's the CHL that has the contract with this company.
I assume it's CHL wide, right?
Yeah. So, New Lion, the provider that does the WHL live and kind of we rag on it. It's kind of for what it is. It's somewhat expensive compared to
other offerings.
Yeah, to the AHL, for instance. I mean, that's kind of what we use as the benchmark right now.
Yeah, they got the brand new contract, so it's kind of the benchmark, definitely.
So AHL, I think the start of the year season pass for the entire league was
$90 US.
$90, and then your team was super reasonable.
I think it was like 40 for home or away.
Yeah,
like 50 for both.
Yeah,
and it was pretty inviting
and good quality too.
Yeah,
right?
it said HD. All HD. They said
yeah. So WHL, CHL had the contract with this New Lion company for at least this year.
Yeah, we found out the contract ends after this season.
Mm-hmm. But now a bit of a shake-up with them.
Yeah, they got bought out by Endeavor. It's kind of a new umbrella company. They bought out a few kind of other smaller companies. And so their biggest kind of get here, they're fairly new. Like they just came together fall of last year. They picked up the WWE network. Mm-hmm. They got it away from Disney, had that contract. So that's kind of a, whatever you think of WWE, but that's a pretty big market. Like they must know what they're doing if they're going to get that contract. Yeah, and that's a pretty big contract. Like they got events happening all the time, right? So, and then so Endeavor, one of the companies they bought, does the Sportsnet online streaming, right? So now Sportsnet's obviously related to the CHL. They have a TV contract. It's not great. We get one game a week after New Year's kind of thing. It's just a kind of a token. Here's a game, and they do this top prospects game and stuff. But and a little bit in the playoffs. Obviously, we don't see much out here, but I know in Ontario and Quebec, there's lots of TV coverage for the teams there. So we're kind of out on a limb here. But so if we could get a contract or a setup like the AHL where you're paying under $100 for the league, like that would be amazing. And I said it at the beginning of the year. I would love to get a league pass, but I think it was like 200. No, it was over 300 for league pass. I think so. Whatever it was way too much. Yeah. And my argument is, I have season tickets and I have the Pats games. I'm watching those primarily. I'm not paying hundreds of dollars to watch the occasional away game or the other game. Yeah, other game of teams, because
the games all happen at the same time.
Exactly. So you can't watch many games
Yeah.
on the weekend.
Yeah.
It's going to be the odd weeknight game that we're not playing.
Right.
Or the odd night
Or
game we're
the
off.
West Coast game after you come home.
Yeah. You
Turn
catch
on
a
a
late
Portland game
Yeah.
or something, right?
Yeah,
That's
that'd be
what I want it
awesome.
for. Not that I'm going to sit and watch every freaking game.
Yeah.
Like, because I can't, because I'm already watching.
Yeah. I'm
like-
already committed to.
I'm watching 68 games,
Yeah.
usually at the same time. So,
Yeah. It's not. It'd be different if you didn't have one team. You're just interested in the whole league. But still,
but that's
it's
what
even
they have to
steep
do to build the interest in the league, is make it accessible.
for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, so that you can watch those games, and then
Yeah.
you start.
Oh, I'm going to
Right.
go to the game near me because this is awesome entertainment. Or
Yeah,
I'm
or
getting interested in this.
I'm interested in the league now. I want to see PA. Oh, PA's doing good. I want to watch them if they're on their West Coast trip.
Yeah.
So,
And you can watch some of these other players that we don't see all the time, like
Well,
out of the West Coast, right? So
we see them once every 2 years.
and some
So,
players you don't even see, right?
yeah. So, yeah, it would be really nice to see some aggressive pricing and
So something's going to change this year, obviously.
something has
Something.
to.
Well,
yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
something will change this year. So
Anyways, that'd be awesome. It'd be awesome even to get full CHL, right?
yeah, that would be If there's like a CHL network, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
You come home, you could watch an East Coast game,
Yeah.
watch our game, and then watch a West Coast game.
yeah. You
Or
know,
whatever,
yeah.
right?
At 5:00, turn on a
Yeah.
Moncton game, and
7:00 our game, and then
Yeah.
9:00
Oof.
a West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I watch the Blue Jays,
yeah,
and then Sportsnet. Well, they usually roll into a West Coast game after the Blue Jays game, so I just got
absolutely.
Sportsnet going on in the background, and I watch the Angels or I watch the A's all the time. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of nice.
Yeah, we can dream, I guess. eh?
Yeah. Well, hopefully something will change this year.
Yeah. So that about does it for this week. We got just that home and home, and then we'll try and get a quick episode out for you guys because we go into an odd Tuesday, rare Tuesday game.
Taco Tuesday.
And then, so we'll try and get one out for you next Sunday.
Yeah, that's a late week. Just Tuesday, Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, we went through a heavy time here, though. Like, look at
Yeah, yeah.
January. It's just
It's full.
battered there. And then you know, they need a bit of a break, I think, too, though, right? They've been going pretty hard here. So get a few practices in. Hopefully keep up the effort. We deserve a win here. Hopefully get one this weekend.
At least one would be nice this weekend against Brandon.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's wrap it up. We will see you guys at the rink. And,
Have a good night.
all right, good night.